Well, good evening. You're very welcome to Inside Line Racing for round number 5 of ILR1 here at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. My name is Graham and I'm going to do my best to help bring the action from a track where, well, you get a lot of good racing, a lot of scraps, and certainly hoping for one or a few of those today as we head across this qualifying session, and of course the 36 laps that will take place after that is all said and done. But long way to go yet. 16 minutes of qualifying. Janul here is going to be the first to get started on a flying lap. As he is doing that, let's run through the standings. Is Blizzard leading the way on 75 points, 39 points ahead of Paris in second, and in third place is It's Me, a little tie on 28 points with ILRT Leon, and then ILRT Cliffy just behind that on 27 points. So still a lot of catching up to do for the pack to catch up to Blizzard. Shortened season. Well, it's going to have to start here if they want any chance of a title run. It's going to have to start here today with a good result. In the constructors, it is Mercedes leading the way on 83 points, 37 ahead of Sauber in second on 46 points, and then Ferrari then in 42 points for third. So that is our standings. So Janul is just coming up to the last two turns, turn 9 and turn 10, and gets set on the board on sale of Ultra Softs as well. So he's going straight for it, comes across the line, gets a set with a 103.8. That is a nice banker. Hoping to see some low threes. I wonder if we'll even see anything into the twos. Well, that is the sweatiest of all territories, but we'll see as the next 14 minutes and 47 seconds unfold. CC Brain going second on 04.9, IRT Alfie 105.1. So you can see some of the guys splitting early between the softs and the ultras, as Lickle then 112 is going to have to do a better lap time than that on the softs. Banker lap, of course. So you can see where kind of people are thinking with strategy between the softs, supers, ultras. It is tight enough at 103.5 from Golden, and oh good grief, that is one way to get started. 103.5 banker. That just shows you the pace. It's going to be absolutely ludicrous. The sweat will be ludicrous. But in terms of tyres, it's going to be really interesting. There are some people who think the 2-stop is better than the 1. You can do ultras to softs. You just put a bit more pressure on the ultras. But to be honest, it's only a few laps in the difference between the ultras and the supers. You know, if you're good in your tyres, you can easily do ultras to ultras to softs, and you'll be good. Though I don't think you want to take too much out of the ultras in qualifying. You want to limit your running as much as you can, because obviously, if you're doing ultras to softs, and every bit of the life in those tires, it does really matter. So we'll see what people go with for now. The guys in the softs can run a few more. To be fair, they have that margin, they have that flexibility, that freedom. As IRT Lewis 104.4 on softs. Oh my goodness, that is oh, sorry, I'm a little blown away by that. 104.4 on softs. Wow. I wonder I'd be scared to wonder what he'd do on a set of ultras, but that is certainly a time you certainly want to be aiming for, and that is not where Leon wants to be aiming for as he heads off the grass over at turn 7 and 8. So you'll have to try again. Here's It's Me, runs second in the title for the moment. He is just starting. Let's go on board with him for this lap. See how he takes a wide on entry. Takes the curb, beautiful stuff, so easy to invalidate on entry and exit. You'll pick up the slipstream from Poe, not massively, but that'll certainly help, as Liam goes P3 with an 3.8, heavy braking towards the turn 3 as it's now referred to, rotates the car. So very nice stuff so far from It's Me on the run down then towards turn 4. He's got some traffic in front of him, snatches a brake, but nice and clean as he charges towards turns 5 and then 6 and 7 and then 8. Nice and wide, takes a wide entry, swoops in. Don't want to take too much of that curb on exit, you will invalidate your lap. Here we go then, last two corners make or break in your lap really, as well as the first two. But here in particular it's so easy to throw it all away if it's gone well. Misses the apex slightly. How will that affect his lap? It comes across the line to 1.3.7, goes P2 for the time being, but that's a relatively nice lap. Poe just starting his lap. That is a good time. Lost a little bit through the last two corners. Let's see what Blizzard can do. Hitting that apex a bit more. You don't take too much of it. You'll hit the yellow curb and you'll launch yourself over that, into the last two corners. So there you go. Then 103.5. Not quite good enough for Blizzard to top gun on. I say last two corners, but the last corner. You split. If you get up on the yellow curb, it spits you wide, and your current lap and your next lap are ruined simultaneously. So always fun. You see the softer ones. The Abbey Odin done 4 laps on those softs, so you can just if you want to get into a rhythm, get on the softs, pump a few laps in. But nice conditions in this race for this qualifying session, I should say, to just thrash around. As CC Brain looks like he's on a cooldown lap. Kind of everyone's either on the ultras or the softs. No one kind of in between at the moment in terms of what they've got fitted. CC Brain has his fastest lap on the Supers. He's the only man to set his fastest lap on the Super. So interesting kind of where people are kind of headed towards. He's kind of all in or all out in a sense. At least early on here in qualifying. It's 10 minutes left. A bit scruffy from Brain. I don't think he's on a lap, to be fair. His arrest deployment doesn't seem to suggest so, as he pumps it up, getting ready to start one by the looks of it. See, he takes this last corner. See, and that's what you don't want to do, is completely scuppered his lap, and you'll have to that's lap over before it even begins. So there's a classic example of not taking too much curve at the final corner. You really do just scupper your lap. So Janul then on a new set of Ultra Softs, going on now, track a new set of Ultras, and goes quicker, 103.4. So the benchmark has been set then and improvement for Golden at the top, 103.4. I wonder if anyone can top that. Of course, lots of time remaining in the session. Here's a nice little slipstream for Liam, but is Francis on a lap? Either way, that's going to be tough, as he's on the softs, you see, as well. If we just look at his, he probably is on lap, so maybe just poor timing on the part of Liam, possibly just maybe not spacing out as much as he maybe should have, and he's had to back off on that lap. That's a shame, because he would have got a nice toe coming out of turn 3 and down towards turn 4, but it was just too close. Here's Janul on his second run. This looks quick, to be fair, and it is quick indeed. 103.427, a couple of hundreds ahead of Golden, and I was looking nice at the end there. Barry's out on track now as well. He'll be a one to watch as well in this shootout for pole position. It could go all sorts of different ways here, really could. So that's exciting. You always want to see a nice duel for pole position. Well, I couldn't tell you who's going to grab it at the moment. With Janul, Golden, and Blizzard, it's me. Barry, I think, will be in the mix, so if you can get a lap together. We'll go on board. I'm not sure if that was too much curb on the exit, but we'll find out as he heads down towards turns 9 and 10. Very, very easy, isn't it? So I think he may be just starting up for a lap. And let's go on board, actually, shall we? 8 minutes left. Most people are in the pits, and slows down. So he was on a lap, but just decided to back off for whatever reason. Hasn't set a time yet, so he wouldn't have been possibly slowing down to not improve over a certain tyre. Liam then going very wide through turn 9 and again through turn 10 as he crosses the line. It's a 103.5, but it is invalidated. Blizzard then, this is nice for Blizzard. He's picked up a little toe from CC Brain, not much, but just something a little extra to help punch a hole in the air as he heads up towards turn 3. Very, very nice. So easy to the back end just to step out as you get on the throttle. It's so easy coming out of that turn 3. Probably the greatest challenge the drivers will have to face today in terms of keeping the car pointed in the right direction. Snatches a brake, misses the apex slightly of turn 4. Won't miss out too much from that wide entry into 6. And again through 7 and 8. This is nice stuff from Blizzard. See if he hooks up the end of the lap. Turn 9, wide entry again. Very wide entry from what I'm used to seeing, but absolutely on rails. That looks so sweet. As he comes across the line, so surely be pole position. It's a 103.4 and the low ends of the force. That looks so hooked up at the end there. Absolutely beautiful stuff from Blizzard, and he takes provisional pole position. That was a beautiful lap. As Golden starts a lap. It's me starting a lap. Janul's into the pits, just coming out again by the looks of it. So majority of people kind of out, mostly in the pits at this stage. Some now venturing onto the super softs like Alfie. Zoom's got a set fitted in the pits, as does Abiodun. And I suspect a couple of these other guys running on the softs might start to do the same thing soon. There's 6 minutes to go. Plenty of time, of course, with the track being so short. You can easily leave yourself, you could do 3 or 4 runs if you wanted to. Traffic depending, etc. Really is a nice, one of the shortest tracks. So well, short in terms of lap time. I think Monaco is actually shorter technically in terms of kilometers, but anyway, we'll pick up Golden on his flying lap. We'll go on board with the broadcast camera for once as he whips his way through turn 7 and 8 and charges down towards line. Did he take a similar approach to... Oh, he's coming into the pits actually. I was wondering if he's going to take a similar approach to Blizzard. Here's It's Me though. It's a 1:03.6. He's still rooted in P4. As Golden in pits, then Blizzard in the pits. Janul out on his lap. Then just starting by the looks of it in the Force India. So critical. Your lap is so critical to hook up turns 1 and 2. If you can't, then you really are, because this track is so short. You're not gonna. It's not a ton of places to make up the time as such. I mean, the last 2 corners are a good place to make up time, but if it's a poor 1 and 2, your exit speed's compromised, and that's going to affect you all the way heading up the straight towards turn 3. So it's so important to get the first turn hooked up. Take a lot of the curb and then try not to run too far wide and exit. Most people in the pits, couple of people on their laps. Chanul looks like being 1. It's Me as well. He's just coming into the pits, so we'll stick with the Force India near the front of the grid anyways. Runs wide a bit through turn 9 and again through turn 10. Comes across the line. It's a 1:03.2, but it's invalid 3.2. So he stays in P2, but just shows you the pace that is there for Janul if he can keep it within the track limits. I think that second to last turn was the deal breaker. A couple of other Poe was in 6th, slow that by Poe 3.8. CC Brain out on the set of Ultras. Well, 4 flat. Alfie struggling into the pits. Just gonna have a little bit of a queue behind him. There's Toro Rosso there. Zenki, who is just behind him as well in the provisional grid for now. Let's go. Where's Sterling West? One of the only. We've got 2 cars on track. Shall we? Or 3, I should say. And that looks like it's coming into the pits as well. So a few coming out though, and well, there goes another one. So it really is just kind of waiting for these guys to bolt on their tyres. A lot of more people on the super softs now. You can see Ultras for many who've already started. And it looks like Little will give us something to watch at the very least. So with 3 minutes to go, it's a safe approach here for Little to give himself some time to do your outlap, and then time just in case there's an invalidation through turn 1 or the second to last turn or whatever the case may be. You give yourself enough time to give yourself a run plus 1 if you need it. But important to fuel yourself up for it as well, because obviously it's easier said than done. People do forget to fuel up for a second run despite coming out at a time like this. It is easier said than done. People do it, but he's the only man kind of furthest along. We've got a couple of other guys out on track as well. These guys have been waiting, biding their time on the softs, and now they're getting set to do their super soft run. So thinking with the strategy in mind, see if any of these guys can break into the top 10. Because at the moment, it's pointless otherwise. If you want to start on the different strategy, you have to start inside the top 10. If you really want to try and make it work comparatively. As Nickeldem starts his lap, what's the grip like on these supers? See, he's struggling for initial turn, and that's an invalidation right there. I can already tell you. I'm pretty sure that's, if he's got away with that, I'll be surprised. But just missing, just understeered a bit into turn 1, and it set him up for the rest of the corner. Had to run wide, use the rest of the track. That might have been too much from Paris. We'll see. Yeah, he's already backed out of that. So, and again, look at the traffic. That's the other thing. This track is so short that it's going to be hard to kind of get yourself into a free pocket of air. That's another reason why it's maybe a good idea for Nickel to get out early, but he's kind of scuppered his own attempt. He's kind of his own space with that. Let's see what Joom then. Joom's got, he's the slowest car that has lap time so far. Snatches a break and runs a bit wide through turn 1. He might get away with that, but I'm not 100% sure. We're down to a minute left or so, so the time's come thick and fast. I apologise in advance if I miss anything. It's going to be quick. That's a big lock up, and he's missed the apex of 3. Has Joom. Look behind though. It's just a struggle for track position as Joom charges down towards turn 4, again missing the apex. Wide entry once again, but his lap is already kind of not looking great. I'd be surprised if he was headed towards even towards the top 12 at this stage with this kind of lap. It's not been the best. He's got time for one more though, if his ERS is allowing. To the last corner then. DRS wide open, comes across the line. It's actually better than I thought it was, to be fair. That's a 4 flash. Well, I've been made to look like a right fool. That's a great lap from Joom. It just looked like there was so much more time then left in that lap. He missed the apex at 2 and 3 and 4. Just shows you maybe there was a 3 in there with on the supers. But anyways, 10 seconds left. Anyone who crosses the line basically from this point onwards is well, it is a checker flag. First one will be Golden, and then what can Golden do? It is provisional pole, 103.3 for Golden, so that's the benchmark then. He's thrown a gauntlet then. Who can match him? It's me, 3.6. He's still in 4th. They're all flying across. They're going for a blizzard. Paris, 3.8 on the supers. That's a great lap. Puts himself at the 5th place as they're all flying through the checker flag now. Can Blizzard? He backs off. So that is it for Blizzard then. Who is? Can we pick up anyone? Where is Barry? Barry's on a lap at the moment. Who's closest to the checker flag? Here's Lewis then, running a bit wide on exit at the last corner. Comes across the line. It's a 3.6 on the super softs. Absolutely unreal. Abiodun's off the track. He will be improving. Barry then coming through the last corner. Surely the last person to try and supplant Golden, but that's not going to happen. He slows down. And I think that is basically going to run us for qualifying in Austria. Some really good laps at the end there. Joom did actually end up falling away then at the end. It was a good, like, four flats great on supers, but I did think there was a bit more left in that time. And well, Lickle, Paris and Lewis have all kind of shown what kind of time there is in the supers around this track, and that is a truly incredible lap time from Lewis. 3.6 on supers. He's in a great spot then from 4th place. Paris as well, great lap from him as well on supers, 3.8. Good stuff. But it is going to be Golden, and then who is going to take pole position in Austria with a 103.3. No one else can match it at the end. Not Janul, not Blizzard, not It's Me. A 103.3. Should be interesting to start for sure. Hopefully we can actually look at the results at some point. That would be nice. Good opportunity to open the stream, and there we go. We are finally finished as they wheel Abiodun's car into the pits. So I'm told the race is overcast, no rain expected. This will be interesting. So strategy then will be interesting to see what happens in there. But it is Golden, and then in front on pole position, 200s ahead of Blizzard in 3rd. Janul right there as well in 3rd. Lewis then, great lap in 4th. It's me 5th, Paris in 6th, Liam 7th, Poe 8th, CC Brain 9th, Lickle in 10th, Zoom 11th, Lambo 12th. Didn't even talk about Lambo this session. Alfie 13th, Zenki 14th, Sterling West 15th, Abiodun 16th, Barry 17th, Leon 18th, Francis 19th, and ILRT Cliffy then in 20th, not setting a time. That could be a qualifying ban. Actually, wasn't sure heading into this one. So, did anyone actually? So yeah, Janul ended up doing that 3.2. We invalidated it, so it kind of shows what time was there, but just couldn't hook up the lap, a valid lap rather. So I wonder if he feels like it should have been, a missed opportunity there. That is definitely overcast. I'm told there wasn't any rain suspected, but wouldn't surprise me given that forecast. That looks cloudy, very, very cloudy. Alas, 36 laps to find out if it will arrive or not. 36 laps to find out if anyone can close the gap to Blizzard in this title race. He's 39 points ahead, and if anyone's going to do it, we got to start getting the move on, because well, what are there, 6 races after this one, and to overturn what could be easily be a 40 point odd, 50 point lead by the end of this race, it's not going to be easy. Not impossible, but not easy either. So just waiting for the drivers to select their strategies. You can change a few things on the setup as they wait, but we don't have to wait any longer as the formation lap is now a go. So strategies then, we obviously know everyone in the top 10, everyone who's on Ultras is in the top 10. Lewis, Paris, Lickle are the guys inside the top 10 on Supers. And then most of the field then outside the top 10 choosing softs. Zoom, Lambo, Alfie, Sterling West, Barry, Francis and Cliffy all choosing the softs. Leon, Abiodun, Zenki, the three drivers outside the top 10 going for the super soft. So the start's going to be very important, especially for Zenki, who's in 14. There's 3 drivers and softs in front of him. So start could be key there. Lickle is in a good spot. Guys in front of him are on ultras. He's on supers. He's on quicker tire than the guys behind. So as long as he gets a good start, shouldn't be under any immediate threat from the guys behind. Alfie could be a bit under threat here at the start. Of course, with the softer tire, better launch off the line with the grippier tires. So that's why I say that. So Paris, I'm looking at Paris. I'm looking at Lewis. More so Paris than Lewis, as someone who could be a little bit vulnerable. But their saving grace is a short run up to turn 1. So just get away competently and you'll be doing okay. But it's, again, who can who can get a good run out of turn 1, who can kind of find that pocket of space, maybe on the outside or a clear bit of track that gives them a good launch off of turn 1, and get yourself a good bit of slipstream, bit of tow heading up the hill towards turn 3, where the first real overtaking opportunity at high speed will be taking place. But they form up now. Golden then takes his place at the front. He will have the outside line heading up towards turn 1. Will he cover it off? No, let's find out if he can get a good enough start to be still ahead. We'll go on board with Janul to start this one at least. See what the starts are like. A wheel spin off the line. We can get a good indication of what's going to happen then. Right then, 36 laps around Austria, ILR1. Can anyone take it to Blizzard today? Can they cut into his title race? Let's find out. 5 red lights. And away we go. Actually, a good start for Janul, to be fair. Golden, I think, is going to be safe heading up towards turn 1. Blizzard has to cut off Janul as they head into turn 1, still leading the way. Oh, a poor run for Blizzard on exit. He's going to have Janul right side by side heading up towards turn 3. Lewis and It's Me right beside each other as well. As they head up for the first time, Janul is going to have the inside line. Will he go for a lunge on? He will. Oh, he's made contact with Golden and he's round already. So he's absolutely cooked his brake in the McLaren there. Lewis has been involved as well. I think his wing is still okay. But apart from that, they all seem to get through cleanly enough. But that was definitely overcooked on the brakes from Janul, and he's lucky not to have lost a bit more, to be fair, as they head towards turn 4 for the first time. Oh, side by side, It's Me and Janul. Janul on the outside heading towards turn 5 and through turn 6, and It's Me is through into P3. So he's got that moved on. Paris then going very, very wide. That's allowed Poe to slip through, and Lewis to try and recover after having to slam on the brakes after that incident at turn 3 involving Janul cooking the brakes on Golden. As he got damaged in front of him, doesn't look like it, but tell you what, Golden has got company in the form of Blizzard already, and we've got Lewis into the pits, so he must have a damaged wing then. That's really unfortunate for Lewis. Not much he could have done there. We got Poe, I think that's Brain, CC Brain down the inside. Poe trying to defend it, and a good tow then. It was a great exit then for CC Brain. He's going to dip to the outside. He's got Paris right behind him as well. We're going to go on board with Paris. It's going to be 3 wide. He's got the final. Oh, he tries to squeeze himself into a gap. That was risky. Very, very risky. And Brain is missing his left-hand side of that front wing. So he's going to end up going backwards from here. Well, Blizzard, he's not quite close enough to make a move heading down towards turn 4, but he's putting the pressure on Golden in big time. Lockups for days. And look at Zoom trying to sneak his way through. So Zoom's got by Brain then. And that's just... it's going to be bad for worse for Brain with that wing damage. So Lewis then, I think the only one to pit, he's on soft. So let's go in and lead away from Blizzard. It's Me ahead of Janul, Liam, Poe, Paris, Zoom, Lambo, Licka as they all get by. Brain with his wing damage, Zenki, Francis, Barry, Leon, Alfie, Sterling, West, Cliffy, Abiyo and Lewis. So they're all kind of, it's all very bunched up at the start. There's a big battle here at this part of the track as Brain does pit then. Also Williams going very wide as they begin. Lap 3 DRS is enabled and CC Brain is out. He's sped into the pit lane and he is going to retire then, but for the first time DRS is enabled heading up the hill for Blizzard. Much better run out of turn 3, much better entry rather. He's got the DRS now as well. Pulls over to the right hand side. Golden hasn't really fought this a ton. Down the inside goes Blizzard and he takes the lead of this race, of this Austrian Grand Prix, and you felt that was always coming. He was just stuck onto the back of that Red Bull, and there you go. Lap 3, first opportunity with DRS into turn 4. He's got that move done. Meanwhile, let's see who's actually risen here. So good start for June, for Lambo. Francis had a good start as well as Leon, Poe and Liam. They're up paces as well, but all going to plan for now for the title leader. He's still got Golden in his DRS though, so he's not completely out of the woods yet, but he's done everything he's needed to so far in this race and just has to really avoid penalties from here on out, and he should be in good shape. But of course a long way to go. Lap 4 of 36. Liam has got DRS on Janul, and Golden's actually quite close up there as well. Just not close enough this time round. Neither is Poe on Janul. Very close, basically from Paris downwards. It's so close, and Liam not quite close enough to Janul to make a move into turn 4. Same story with Golden. Any activity further back, they're all kind of, see, it's so easy to get stuck in the DRS train around here. I did see some overtaking going on here. It's Cliffy on Alfie for P15, and that is the Red Bull then into P15. He's trying to fight back though, is the Sauber, and Cliffy holds on though. So that's Cliffy then still holding on, and meanwhile it's still very tight up here. So Blizzard hasn't really shaken Golden at all. It's so hard to break DRS here once you have it, and that's keeping Golden alive. He's very close, thinks about a move, misses the corner, goes very wide, misses the corner. Is that rain I'm seeing on the screen? I thought I saw a few spits of rain, but maybe my eyes are playing tricks on me. I think it is. I think those are spits of rain, so it is actually raining then, as there's all sorts of activity going on here. Zenki and Lambo side by side heading down towards turn 4. I think those are spits of rain. They're very light, but I think it is. And Lambo then has cleared Zenki, who's under pressure then. Oh, there's Francis and Lickle then side by side heading towards turn 6. Down the inside goes Lickle. Can he hang around the outside? Francis, he's left the space just about, tips the wheel onto the grass, and Lickle is through. Oh, well, the twitch on exit though, that's going to leave Francis with a chance. Will he hang it down the inside of turn 9? A very risky overtake takes place, not a conventional overtaking place, and so easy to have an accident. There was contact left to rear, or front to rear there. Oh, Lickle's been forced off the track a bit. He won't have liked that too much, but Janul then has been absolutely swamped by Poe and Liam, and is now down into 6th place, trying to take back one of those places. On the outside, Abion picks up a penalty already. Late braking, completely misses the apex, almost runs into the back of Liam, and Poe should be safe then. So it is raining then in Austria, but it is very light. So no harm, no threat rather of any sign of intermediates at the moment, but it's definitely, the rain is spitting, if you could even call it that. Meanwhile, Blizzard still very close to Golden, and it's Mina's also kind of caught up to the back of this as well then. So look at the overspeed from Golden. Is he going to go for a move? Oh, he was very close, but he carries so much more speed heading out of turn 9 there, as Alfie then is out of this race. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he was battling in the midfield, but now he is out, and we have 2 casualties already. That's Golden again going wide. He's going to have to be careful with these, because I reckon one more of those and that's going to be a 3-second penalty, as Poe into the DRS, the slipstream of Liam heading up towards turn 3. Down the inside, the Renault on the McLaren. Can he hold it? Can he get a switch back? He's going to have DRS, is Liam. And Poe has gone very defensive. Can he carry enough speed to stay down the inside? Goes a bit wide, has he? He's locked up, but he has kept the place still. And that is Poe then into 4th place. As Paris looks to try and put Janul under pressure, but at the front it's still very, very close. The rain is falling in Austria. We'll see what lap times they're doing. Of course, it's as Paris then gets by Janul, side by side heading out of turn 8 rather, heading towards turn 9. Janul's got the inside. Gonan is close to Blizzard still as well. Very, very close to 2 leaders, only 6/10 off his fastest lap is Gonan, so the track not really deteriorating as of yet. Oh, big kick of the rear from Gonan. He's surely lost his chance to have a go at Blizzard. He's still going to be close, but has he let that opportunity slip? Would he go for the dive heading into turn 3? No, thinks better of it. And that was the wise approach on that occasion from Gonan. It's a shame his own exit out of turn 1 compromised him big time. He could have had a shot at Blizzard heading into turn 3, but have to wait another lap at the very least. Meanwhile, Poe hasn't quite shaken Liam, but should be safe heading towards turn 4. Feels so tightly packed from the leader to, that's the wrong one, the leader to 12th. There's less than 10 seconds as Blizzard then picks up a penalty. So there's the first penalty then of the leaders by the looks of it. So Blizzard's been facing the pressure and he's got a penalty now to boot, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of those before this one's all said and done. Top 3 separated by less than a second. It's so tight. I mean, look at this from basically Paris down. As we got a pit stop, we got Zoom coming into the pits on softs. That's interesting. I have to see if that cannot be for a set of intermediates, surely. I wonder if it's a set of ultras. Not sure, but the gap at the top still very, very tight. None of them having a look on each other. Yes, oh, the overspeed. Golan's going to go for it. I don't think he initially planned it, but ends up kind of half-heartedly going for the overtake. And he's pumped up under pressure then from It's Me. He's gone defensive now, so from the offensive he's gone to the defensive. I think he's going to keep that position for the time being. June then came out on supers. I'm not sure if he had damage or something, but it seems a weird one to pit from softs at this point of the race. Lap 9 of 36. This is flying along. Still so tight. They've got a 4-second gap to Poe in 4th. So it really is a 3-way shootout then for the lead of this race. Take a pick. I mean, at this stage, who would you pick? Lap 9 of 36. It's drizzling in Austria. Good run for Golden, a very good run for Golden out of that last corner. He's going to have a great chance to go for a move down. He's actually gone category on the outside because Blizzard's gone defensive. Can he stick it? Oh, that's a fantastic move. Absolutely brilliant move from Golden. By the looks of it there, as It's Me then looking to try and make it double trouble for Blizzard. He's got defensive. And we'll just have to tuck in. But can he break then, as Lambo looks like it's been absolutely swamped by the looks of it. There's Zenki, there's Janul, Leon, and now Francis going down the inside of Lambo as Blizzard tries to get back at Golan, tries to go around the outside of turn 4, back end stepping away for both him and It's Me. They go for a look down towards turn 6. No, not quite, as Zenki and Leon exchanging blows then as well. Leon ahead of Zenki then, that's for P8. So some of these guys in on the supers looking good. As the rain continues to fall here, Paris and Liam, because Liam goes a bit wide, bit of contact between the Ferrari and the McLaren, and that's Paris then into P5 at the front. Meanwhile, it's still going, and again, no one has been able to break outside of DRS really this entire race. 2 seconds a lap slower now, but I think there could have been obviously they were fighting each other on track as well. Let's have a look at someone who's actually not crossed the line. Yeah, track is still nowhere near. Oh, there's an accident. I thought for some. Yeah, there's Liam facing the wrong way. If I can find him, there he is. He's got no front wing. As Gonan and Blizzard side by side. Blizzard down the inside of Gonan. He's got DRS as well, so that he should have the overspeed then. Straight line speed to finish that move. Gonan will have to try and fight around the outside of turn 4. Can he do it? Blizzard comes across. positions his car excellently, and that is Blizzard then back into the lead of this race. I'm not sure what happened, if who was involved in that incident with Liam. I thought I saw a flash of red for a second, and then the orange facing the wrong way around. But that's just how close this race was. I had to go all the way down. Like, it took, that's how tight it is. Everyone's so bunched together. Like 5 seconds trying to find Liam's car, and I couldn't even find it. As there's the yellow flag in sector 2, Cliffy in 10th. It's all kicking off. Paris has got by on Lambo. Jooms had an off, I think. I'm not sure who's had an off, to be honest. As Poe pits then. So sorry, I don't know how to keep up. It's all kicking off. It's so tight. So Poe then is the first of the front runners on the Ultras to pit. This is close to pit stop territory for the guys in the Ultra Soft. So Poe maybe try to think about an undercut. For the Super Softs, you're kind of getting close to lap 15 or so. A little bit of contact from the back of, or the front of Gonan onto the back of Blizzard. And he's just under pressure now from It's Me. But just not a ton of straight line speed, I think, even for that Toro Rosso. Always goes deep. Has Gonan, he snatched the break. I think he'll get away with it though. He'll get away with it this time. But just even with, they both have DRS on that straight, but you can just see kind of the straight line speed difference between the two. I think Gonan's running a bit more, a little less frame rather, as Sterling West has got by Janul for P11, so he's just outside the points. It's so tight. Look from Leon, it's just so tight. It's still less than 10 seconds separating the top 10. I think this is Blizzard into the pits. Gonan will follow, and It's Me will too. So the rain is still spitting, but nowhere near time to go to inters. They'll go into dries. So the guys at Super Sauce will carry on. That means Paris will inherit the lead, and they will carry on. But where will the leaders emerge though? It's going to be so congested. Have any of them been held? Is the question. I don't think so. Looks like It's Me's lost a little bit of time. Have they actually got themselves into a nice little gap here? It's so tight at the top, and in fact Zenki and Francis side by side. We'll look at the leaders then, again in a sec. A little bit of contact. And that's Francis into P3 then, so he's got by Zenki. And Lambo looking to put the pressure on him as well. Janul then looks like he's had an off somewhere. He's falling down the order. Still so close here. Lewis then on softs, of course he pitted lap 1. Janul then, his tyres have just absolutely gone. They're absolutely cooked. You can see the rear is just not wanting to give him any sort of rear kind of grip at all. So they're done. It's so tight. Paris has got a little bit of breathing room, thankfully, for himself. 2.9 seconds. And to be honest, he needs it, because look at this absolute mess. I think there's going to be people coming to the pits. So there's Zenki. There goes Zenki. He's into the pits. Lap 12. That's Gonan and picks up a 3-second penalty then. So that evens that then. That is coming in extremely hot. He did slow himself down in time, did Zenki. And Liam picked up a penalty there as well. So still so close. Cliffy then picks up one from 5th. He's on softs. So Gonan then is what? He's ahead of It's Me by a few seconds. Yellow flags absolutely everywhere. It's just Janul. Okay, that's okay. Sorry, I don't know where to look. It's absolutely insane. So Gonan's in 8th then. It's Me then is just behind Lewis. So then looks like Lewis then got sandwiched in between It's Me and Gonan, so that's kind of done that. Blizzard then a little bit further up the road, 1.7 seconds. So yellow flag in sector 3. I'd imagine that is for Janul's Force India. Rain continues to fall in Austria as Liam gets by Janul. Then they're both pretty much a lap down at this stage. As Cliffy then having just picked up that penalty, getting close to the other Force India, which is off the track there. You can see the other one. The other one is occupying P4 at the moment, running a bit wide at the exit there of the last corner as Paris then pits. So like I say in qualifying, not a lot between the Ultra Soft and the Super Soft, and Paris is going into the intermediates. That is a bold choice, because the track is nowhere near wet enough. See Gonan doing 7s, I think it was, which is a little slower, but like it's not a ton. That is yeah, and he's left the session. I wonder if that was by accident, if he didn't mean to, if he had the set maybe in anticipation, or that's a shame for Paris. He was running in a great position, so that's a big shame for him. But yeah, it was absolute lunacy to think about intermediate at this point. It's still absolutely nowhere near wet enough. Absolutely nowhere near wet enough. It might even get nowhere wet enough. So Hey, it's a good time for the soft runners there to carry on. Leon will be feeling a bit more pressure on those supers, and he's pulling over to the right hand side, indicating his intentions to go into the pits. And he'll then relinquish the lead to Francis then in this flurry of soft runners who have yet to make their stops, of course. Meanwhile, Poe and Lewis, very close course. Lewis has made a stop on the softs from lap 1 after he I think he sustained damage after that little incident between Gonan and Blizzard, I believe. Or it might have been Janul, actually. It's been so long ago and so much has happened, I can't even remember. I can't even keep track, as again the leaders here, well, the temporary leaders, very, very tight. The effective race leaders, Gonan running a little bit of the space, as is Blizzard. They're in a good spot here. Actually, we'll go back on board with this shot with Cliffy, the helicopter shot, as these front three. It's going to be really interesting to see why these three separate themselves. They won't need to pitch for a few laps yet, but who will think about an undercut? Who will do an undercut? Because surely, if you're Cliffy, you have to be thinking about it, because there are some positions to be had here. And the tyres, I think, are pretty good for now, but come lap 20 or so, lap 19, 20, 21, close to that range, will they do it? Will they go for supers? Will someone go for the ultras? Is this rain going to get heavier, and they're just going to try and limp on as long as they can on these soft compound tyres? And actually, as soon as Cliffy's done heading up the hill, I'll look at the lap time, see if the track is actually getting any slower, because they're a good indicator, these guys in the softs, of whether the track is actually losing its pace. As Zenki and Leon then, I think that's Zenki into P11 then. So where are we? Francis leading the way from Lambo and Cliffy, as Poe is close actually to Lewis. Let's actually take a sneaky look then. Oh, actually no, because there's a Force India. Lambo is going for the move on Francis, and he's got it done. So maybe a poor run then out of turn 4 for Francis, and then he has lost that lead then. And Sterling West then has left the session. He was down he's actually in 4th, so he's actually losing out a good bit here. Obviously yet to make a stop. Francis then under pressure from Cliffy. Yeah, the back end just not looking too happy there. As they round the track, basically we're just basically at halfway now. This track is getting a little slower, I think. Slowly but surely, as they all go by Sterling West's car then. The 3 then heading up the hill. There's a little battle here as well. There's a few cars. There's Lewis, Poe. It's me actually just getting by. How's the run out of turn 3? Not too bad for either of them, actually. So actually, let me just take a look then at Cliffy's lap times then. So it has been consistent 8s, but it's been getting a little bit slower these last few laps. And I know the degradation plays a part, but these softs are fairly consistent. I think the track is losing a little bit of pace, but nothing too massive to the point where you want to stick a set of intermediates on. Nowhere near, actually, for that matter. As Lickle and Abiodun. Ooh, back end kicking up there for Abiodun as Lickle then into P13. Any change at the front here between the leaders? No. They're going to soldier on. Let's see what lap times they're doing, though. Lambo then kind of breaking out of DRS range. He's close, not quite there yet. Still in 108.2, 108.5 then for Francis. So track still absolutely fine. There's a back marker for no, it's actually just the ghost car of Paris, so that's fine. Though I was wondering if Lambo did get DRS actually, but I don't think he will. Certainly not heading up the hill towards turn 3, and he's not towards turn 4 either. As Cliffy right in the back of Francis, though, is he going to go defensive? No, Francis leaves the door open. Cliffy's going to go down the inside, late braking. Can he make the corner? He can, and that's a good move from Cliffy. He's into P2 then, yet to make his stop, but looking good. As I do think it's kind of in between where you kind of have to give kind of consideration to lifting in some spots with this track. Then you just pushing, as Janul then speeds into the pit lane. His race really has just gone from just absolutely, it's gone absolutely awfully, hasn't it? As then Francis then pulls into the pits, and that's a good call, I think. May as well have. As they're still into the 8s at the front on soft, so track is still fine. Yeah, no, good call from Francis here to pit as Lambo picks up a penalty. May as well. He was at the back anyways. As Poe then gets by Lewis into P6, and Lewis of course is running. Where is he? There he is. Lewis of course have 18 lap old on the softs as Cliffy has got by Lambo. Then Lambo, can he fight back? He's not got DRS, so that's Cliffy then into the race lead for the time being. These guys are going to make the stop soon, and they're going to emerge somewhere 13th, 14th possibly. When it's all said and done, of course they will be on the softer supers. Or do any of them go long enough? And think about yourself, ultra softs. That would throw a spanner in the works. I'd imagine they'll go supers, but will any of them respond to Francis? No, it looks like is the answer. They're going to carry on for another lap. We see the back end one actually step away from Lambo. They had to correct it. So, and those tyres look absolute. That left front does not look nice at all. It's a slow lap this time for Lambo. Blizzard 107 still. 8/10 off his quickest time though, which is a little surprise on the softs. So I think the track, again, it's kind of losing a bit of performance, but not a ton. So still on the right tyre. As Abiodun then and Lickle. Oh, as Abiodun, there's a car off. It is Lickle. And he's into the wall at the back end of the track. He should be okay to rejoin though. So, but that's a big one there for Lickle. He's actually lucky he went in backwards rather than forwards. Could have been a lot worse. As Leon then looking to try and move himself up into P8 ahead of Zenki. He's got the DRS. Good straight line speed when he go for the move. Could have, to be fair, but decides not to. Couple laps difference of tyres. Sterling West retires. That's a shame for him. He was running quite well. Down the inside then, Leon into turn 6. There's going to be a little bit of contact. And again through turn 7 and 8. But Leon is through, and then Lambo is into the pits, and Cliffy goes on. And Lambo then is into the pits. What's going on and doing? Going into still the 7s. So the track is fine. And super soft tyres going on to that Force India. Where will he emerge then? As Lickle retires from this race, so we're kind of losing cars thick and fast here. Down to 13 runners. Did Jim join back in the end? He did not. So where's Lambo then? Lambo is right. Oh, there he is. There's Francis. He's going to get up to speed, but he's not going to get enough speed to have a move into turn 3. So as then right where they were, Francis and Lambo, and Cliffy then will surely be coming into the pits this lap if he's going for a set of supers to go to the end of the race. Kind of field has spread a bit now. Cliffy, well not Cliffy, Blizzard 2 seconds ahead, Golden 2 seconds ahead, it's me. And Cliffy does then comes into the pits. And we'll be interested to see where he ends up then, where he filters out between himself and Francis and Lambo. So for the people wondering about the penalty situation, I know Golden has 1, Blizzard has 1. So that's what you need to know about the penalty situation. So it's kind of as you were. I'll check it's me in a second. I'll see where Cliffy emerges. There's Francis, there's Lambo. Cliffy then, oh, it's going to be so tight. I think he's going to split them, is he? He is going to split them. Although Lambo's going to have DRS though, Cliffy will not. And Lambo needs to get this one done. Cliffy goes defensive. He's got to be careful to measure his braking. Lambo, he's got Mercedes in front of him. And that's worked out quite nicely for Cliffy. He's on the fresher tyres. And he's kind of in the middle of this group, but he's still not got DRS, has he? He has now got DRS. So he should be fine. Then will Lambo go for a move? No, so he splits him, but he does go wide, does Cliffy, but yeah, recovers and keeps that P8. So Francis then 3 lap old super. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble possibly later on, but this should be a really interesting battle between these 3. Nothing to pick between them. Zenki quite close to the back of Leon as well, so that should be fun. Let me check then. Let me check it's me for penalties, because he could still end up getting a position here. Not a single warning to his name, and 2 penalties then actually for Gonan, that's right, and 1 then looks at for Blizzard, but he's not far away from a second one. as the rain still drizzling in Austria. So It's Me is close enough to jump Gonanen, but not close enough to jump Blizzard. One more penalty for Blizzard, and that'll be where we stand with that, as Leon still ahead of Zenki, but it's very close between those two, as is of course this battle is trio, Francis, Cliffy and Lambo. They've both done well with the strategy. They started well outside the top 10, I believe. Yeah, less so for Lambo, but like Cliffy started last and Francis second last, so they've done very, very well. A little bit to go yet, and there are still opportunities in front of them, to be fair, especially if these two begin to squabble a bit, Leon and Zenki. But Zenki's kind of having trouble. He's in DRS, but he kind of hasn't got close to it, kind of taken back that position since he lost her, though. He's not got a bad run out of this turn one, to be fair, but again, just looks like Leon just running a bit more straight line speed, and just even with DRS, with that Toro Rosso, that's just helping him stay in front. Of course, overtaking can be tricky around Austria at times, especially if you're running good straight line speed. And again, he just needs to be within around 3 or 4 tenths coming out of either the last corner or out of turn 1 or out of turn 3, then to kind of get a run towards him, kind of like this, as Cliffy all over the back of Francis, much more so, I should say, than Lambo's on the back of Cliffy. Go back to the broadcast camera. So, few lap difference in the tyres between Francis and Cliffy. I'm sure that will play to Cliffy's advantage as they head down towards turn 9 and 10 for the 25th time. Gonanen and Blizzard still ahead of the rest. Zenki can get a good run out of here. He's getting closer for sure. Might be just be a bit too far back. How big then? This looks much more promising for Cliffy on Francis. Francis is sticking to the left hand side. Cliffy then, damn, he's kind of got moved on beforehand. Should be an easy enough move. Can Francis respond on the switchback? No. Can Zenki get Leon? This is his good chance he's had for a while. Ooh, a dart to the right for Leon before sticking to the racing line. So this is now, you have to be careful this lot, because they're being caught by this group. So as much as Zenki and Leon have been squabbling here, kind of held up by each other in a sense, they are bringing with them 3 cars on Supers. And tell you what, Lewis is not that far behind either. As the rain continues to fall here in Austria, it's still the same at the front. The gap has kind of been very similar throughout most of the second stint. They've kind of been 2 seconds of each other, which is fine for Blizzard because he's got enough room on. That's another penalty for Gonanen now as well, actually. So that's 3 penalties for Gonanen. And tell you what, Gonanen's in danger here of a podium place slipping away here. He's got 9 seconds. I know Poe has a penalty or 2. I'll have a check of that when things get kind of quiet, if things quieten down a bit. Can Zenki then get close enough heading out of this turn? That's a little better. Back end still trying to step away, but he's just not going to be close enough, is he? As Abiotin picks up a penalty. He's in P11, so well, not really looking at points anyways. 2.3 seconds out of the gap between Cliffy and Zenki, and he hasn't dropped Francis or Lambo, by the way, either, so it's got to be worrying for Zenki. 3 cars on Supers, and they're all within DRS. They're all just pulling each other along with DRS, and that's a problem. Lap 28 of 36. Blizzard is looking good for now. It's looking good to add a 4th win to his season, having DNF'd, of course, in China, the only blot on his copybook. So the gap closing in 1.7 between Cliffy and Zenki, who again just cannot get close enough to Leon by a braking zone. Gets close there, but wasn't in a position to make the move. And now, crucially, I think Blizzard's covered himself 3 seconds now between himself and Gonanen, and ever closer then to a 6-second margin between himself and It's Me. And if he were to pick up another penalty, then he would not be safe to It's Me. So he's got some work to do. He's got 5 tenths to kind of make, and he'll be safe after that. But speaking of safe, Leon Zenki there in trouble. Will Cliffy get within DRS then by the end of this lap? Surely by the end of these last two corners he'll be within 1 second. I think actually there might have been the activation zone. I think he actually may have just missed out. Yeah, I think he just missed out. Francis then has dropped back then 1.4 back of Cliffy, and that could be dangerous because Lambo then is still right there as Zenki picks up a penalty. That's going to be crucial surely. But now Cliffy does have DRS. Was falling out of DRS a big problem for Francis because Lambo is reeling him in. Zenki is still so close, but now he's got the Red Bull for company. He's a little bit closer at this time. When you go for a lunge, it's going to get desperate surely. No, shows great restraint despite being stuck behind that Renault for a number of laps now. He could have gone for a move if he really wanted to. I've seen people dive in gaps that were less existent, but he shows good restraint. But he's going to be under a lot of pressure soon. Ray looks like it's actually got a little bit heavier, hasn't it? But the time's still looking pretty good. Cliffy just 3 tenths down on his fastest time, so the track not really losing a ton of its grip. Now the last corner. The only thing Cliffy's got to worry about is getting a good run out of turn 1, and because he's going to try and pass a car that does have DRS as well, so has to be careful of that. Wash the dirty air somewhat, and he picks up a 3-second penalty running wide at turn 1. He's in DRS. Will he go for a move? Oh, Zenki gets on the grass. That's not going to help him heading towards turn 3. He's cooked it. He has to move to avoid hitting into the back of that Renault, and that is how he's going to lose P6 there. And luckily for him, he's got a little bit of a gap between himself and Lambo. And then Francis is here as well. He's actually lost the position to Lambo then. And now Cliffy looking to continue his charge. It's up to P5 then, if he can get by Leon. And only 2 seconds up the road is his teammate Poe, so not entirely out of the question. And with penalties and such for Gonanen, a podium finish isn't entirely out of the question here for Cliffy, but his own penalty won't help in that regard. And he's got to get by Leon first. We have a look into turn 9 though, backs off on the throttle. But surely only a matter of time, just gets washed, doesn't he? And he's just kind of run very wide there. Took a bit too much curb on entry, and he's just lost the opportunity to have a look into turn 1. But surely won't be too much longer before he has another opportunity then heading up the hill towards turn 3. They're actually closing onto the back of Poe, so this is not good news for the other Renault driver in P4. Down the inside goes Cliffy. This is for P5. Should be an easy move, and there you go then, as Cliffy into P5, and now can chase off after the other Renault, just 1.5 seconds ahead with 5.5 laps to go, including the one they're on. Any sign of movement at this area of the field? Abiodun and Barry again by Abiodun then, much fresher super softs. And tell you what though, Lewis is getting close to the back of Francis, Lambo, this group as well, so Lewis is in a good spot here. Does he have any penalties, I wonder? Does Lewis? He has 1 warning, 2 warnings, and no pens. He could be a very interesting player to kind of move up at the checkered flag. It's always fun to see kind of how the grid unfolds once they all cross the line for the final time. At the moment though, Cliffy has caught within DRS of Poe. This is for P4 then. Rain still falling, as it has done for most of this race, but hasn't really had any sort of effect as Zenki and Lambo. DRS for Lambo, of course. Everyone in this train basically has DRS, including Zenki. He's dropped back a bit of Leon. Oh, and he's switched back, and there's been contact, and Lambo's into the back of Zenki, and that has damaged Lambo's win. Francis will nip through. This is a great opportunity for Lewis then, as Cliffy and Poe on the inside trying to hold on to this P4. Cliffy's just got much more traction, and there you go then with those tyres, and there you go, that is them through. Zenki and Lambo side by side. It looked like a kind of dart across from Zenki, and then Lambo couldn't really avoid it. Actually, I would need to look at it again to be fair, because it happened very, very quickly. But Lewis has got to be careful here, down the inside into turn 7. Oh, has to be careful, nudged off a bit of 8. He's got to be careful as Lewis. Yeah, all of his, he's worked hard to get back from basically last, as Lambo is going to pull into the pits then. He's worked hard to get from last to where he is now after making a pit stop on lap 1. He's got to be careful not to throw it all the way here now with only a few laps remaining. Lambo should still actually emerge in 10th, so Lewis has to be careful then. Up with the DRS now, no defence for Zenki surely. And away goes Lewis, and will reclaim the racing line before his breaking point, and there you go, then Lewis into 8th, and it could be on for a lot more points though, could Lewis, when penalties have their say. Leon meanwhile is catching up to the back of his teammate Poe. Poe is, 4-lap old softs is really beginning to show at this point, and now his teammate is looking to make a move. Will they switch it? Do they communicate? Let's see how they handle it. Back end actually stepping out there for Leon, heading out of turn 6. At the front, meanwhile, it's close to 6 seconds between Blizzard and Gonan, but I think Blizzard can just take it easy. He's got the gap. He'll know Gonan will have penalties behind him, and he can just ease to the end of this one. Lap 34, their beginning of 36. Been a great race, absolutely great stuff, and it's not over yet. There's going to be a few more twists before the tail, and then Poe then pulls over the right hand side and does let his teammate go then, so that is Leon then into 5th place, and Poe, his tyres are really struggling. That's not going to help. He's got Francis and Lewis behind on fresher supers, and Poe could find himself sliding down the field before this one's set and done. If he could stay within DRS of his teammate to help pull him along, that would really help. But I don't think he's going to be able to hang on for too long, given his tyres I think are fairly sore. That rear right does not look especially nice. Lap 34 of 36, Blizzard then rounding the final 2 corners to begin his penultimate lap. It's been pretty smooth for him, hasn't it? It has been a good day at the office for Blizzard, and I think, well, with Paris not scoring any points today, it's me is his closest title rival after this race. And he is gaining, how many points on him? 8. No, 10. So, yeah, it's going to be a long way ahead. Meanwhile, Lewis, and this is for a position on the back of Francis. He's got DRS. Francis does not have DRS. Lewis continuing his charge up the field. Ducks to the left hand side. He's going to have the outside line, but he'll have the racing line. If he's cut off, a little bit of contact between himself and Francis. He won't enjoy that too much. And we'll have to make do with PA for the time being. Zenki not too far behind either, but he's on 21 lap old soft tyres. Lewis will have one more attempt at this, heading down towards turn 4, as Blizzard then getting close to starting his final lap of the race. Meanwhile, Lewis and Poe, look at Poe, he's struggling so much on those softs. 23 laps he's run on those softs, and he's looking very tired. And this could be perfect for Francis, who's now got DRS. Or Francis runs wide, will Lewis go down the inside? He's going to go down the inside of turn 10. Side by side, out goes wide, does Francis. Out wide goes Francis, rather, I should say. And Lewis is through then as we begin the final lap of the race. Will Lewis get a chance at Poe here as well? Look at this difference of speed he can carry as Poe picks up a penalty, and Lewis will simply dance through then to P6. What a drive this has been from Lewis. He could have easily been in contention for the win of this race had things not gone wrong. I think he has done the 2-stop. He has. That's incredible. Blizzard then getting close to his final few corners. Looks like Poe just a bit too far ahead of Francis this time. It's going to shake up big time once they cross the line, rather. But it's been perfect with Blizzard. He's going to make it 4 out of 5 and 3 in a row by the looks of it. Rounding turn 9 and turn 10 one last time, start to finish. He's been the man. Blizzard wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Convincing win in the end. Golden's going to cross the line in second. Is going to finish a lot further down than that though. Cliffy off the back of It's Me. So It's Me's going to jump up to second. Cliffy then, oh, he's missed out by a few seconds. Then Leon jumps Cliffy into 4th. And Lewis then jumps Cliffy then into 5th. Francis finishes 7th. Zenki 8th. Poe ended up finishing 9th then after that. And Lambo then will finish in 10th then after Pencil. Cliffy then at 10th behind Lewis. And Lewis then It's so close. So Golden did actually hang on, and Leon jumped up to 4th in the end. That's a great result for Leon. So Golden held on to the podium in the end. I didn't think he would, but by 7/10 he has indeed done it. So there you go, Lambo in 10th, Barry 11th, Abiodun will finish in 12th. Do you get the fastest lap as well? I don't think he will. And then Liam, that's been a race to forget for Liam, he will finish 13th. June never got back in the end. And there is your Austrian Grand Prix. Interesting to see the penalties at the end. Some absolutely incredible drives actually. There's tons of them, absolutely tons of them. Cliffy, Leon, Lewis, just some really good drives that you're going to see when the final results pop up. But there's the full 25 points for Blizzard, taking his tally into 100 on the season. And It's Me is his closest contender on, I think that's 53 points. Yeah, that's pretty, sorry, 43 points. So he's a 57 point lead then. That's going to be tough, isn't it? So, I mean, can anyone stop Blizzard at this point? Probably not, but hey, still over half the season to go. So then, Blizzard wins from second place in the race, just one penalty to his name. It's Me then second, Golden in third, Leon from 18th and fourth, Lewis then from fifth, from fourth, although I mean the race, so his race is a lot more complicated than that. Cliffy from the back in sixth, Francis from 19th, Zenki from 14th and 8th, Poe 9th, Lambo then in 10th, Barry 11th, Liam 12th, Abiodun 13th, and I think it was our last finisher. We lost Joom, Paris, Lickle, Sterling West, Janul, Alfie, and CC Brain. It all seems so long ago, doesn't it? But very entertaining race. I hope you enjoyed that. I have to run off today, so no podium interviews, I'm afraid. So thank you very much for watching. Next up for these guys is Silverstone next week, Sunday. That should be Silverstone's always a fun track, it should be good. And yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.